Level 1, the curious outsider. You find it the way most people do. A YouTube thumbnail, a man in a rental Lamborghini with a chart on his laptop. He says he made $4,000 before breakfast. He says the market is always open. He says all you need is a phone and a strategy. You watch the video twice, then 3 more like it. Each one promises the same thing: financial freedom, time freedom, location independence. The language is almost identical across all of them, like it was written by the same invisible hand. You open a brokerage app. The interface is cleaner than you expected. EUR/USD, GBP/JPY, XAU/USD. Pairs you've heard of but never really looked at. You watch the candles move up, down, up. Little green rectangles and red rectangles stacking against each other like a game. You deposit $200, nothing serious, just enough to try, just to see if it's real. You place your first trade on the EUR/USD pair, 0.01 lots. You don't really know what that means, but the platform lets you do it, so you do. The price ticks up 2 pips. Your account shows $200.02. You feel something shift in your chest. You close it, take the profit. 2 cents. You open another. It goes the other way. You lose 4 cents. You close it, open another. This time you make 12 cents. You sit back and think, I understand this. This is learnable. That thought is the most dangerous thing that will happen to you for a long time. And by midnight, you are still watching the candles move. Level 2, the blower. The account grows for 4 days. Not by much, a few dollars, but it grows, and that's enough to make you careless. You increase your lot size. You've been reading about leverage. 1 to 100 means every dollar controls 100. The tutorials make it sound like a superpower. You double your position size, then double it again. On day 5, the price moves against you faster than you thought anything could move. You watch $30 disappear in 6 minutes. You don't close the trade. You're sure it will come back. Every video you watch said, wait for it to come back. It doesn't come back. You get stopped out. $47 gone. You open a new trade, bigger this time, to recover. You hear the word revenge trading for the first time 2 weeks later, reading a forum post about a man who blew 3 accounts in a row. You recognize every decision he described. You recognize the feeling of needing the money back right now. You recognize the trades he took: impulsive, oversized, angry. You blew the $200 in 11 days. Then you deposited another $200. Then you blew that too. You tell people you're learning. You tell yourself you're paying tuition. You're not wrong, but you haven't learned the right lesson yet. The lesson isn't which indicator to use. The lesson is that the market doesn't care how badly you need the money. It doesn't care at all. The market is not your opponent. It's not even aware of you. That's the thing that takes the longest to understand. Level 3, the strategy collector. You stop trading for a while. You start studying instead. The internet has more Forex content than you can consume in a decade. Moving averages, RSI, MACD, Fibonacci retracements, support and resistance, price action, order flow, ICT concepts, smart money, Wyckoff, Elliott waves, supply and demand zone, liquidity sweeps, inducement, fair value gaps. Every week there is a new system. Every system has a community. Every community has testimonials, screenshots of profitable months, charts with perfect entries circled in green. You buy a course for $197, then another for $297, then a mentorship program for $1,200. Each one promises to be the last thing you'll ever need. You backtest strategies on old charts. They look incredible. Every entry is obvious in hindsight. You feel like you finally found it. You go life. The strategy fails in real time. The chart looks nothing like the examples. The signals are everywhere and nowhere. You can't tell which ones are real. You switch to a new strategy. Same result. You switch again. Someone in a forum calls you an indicator junkie. You're offended. Then you count the indicators on your chart. There are 9. You're offended and also accurate. You start to understand something. Not how to trade. Something harder. You understand that knowing a strategy and executing it consistently are 2 completely different skills. One lives in your head. The other lives in your hands, your stomach. The 3 seconds between seeing the setup and clicking the button. You pick one system, you decide to stop collecting and start committing. Level 4, the demo grinder. You open a demo account with $10,000 of virtual money. You tell yourself you'll treat it like it's real. You tell yourself this for 3 days before you stop treating it like it's real. Without risk, nothing feels consequential. You take trades you would never take with real money. You ignore stop losses because what does it matter? The demo account becomes a video game. You make $40,000 in 2 weeks and feel like a genius. You feel nothing when you lose $20,000 back. You realize demo trading has a ceiling. It teaches you chart reading. It does not teach you yourself. You start a new demo account with a rule. You must follow your journal. Every trade requires a written reason before entry. Every trade requires a post-mortem after close. Win or lose, no exceptions. It slows everything down. You take 3 trades in a week instead of 30. You begin to see the difference between setups you actually believe and setups you take because you're bored, because the market is moving, because you feel like you're missing something. You start logging emotions, not just prices. You write hesitated on this entry because yesterday's loss was still loud. You write took this trade too early because I wanted to participate. You write move the stop loss because I didn't want to be wrong. The journal becomes a mirror. You don't always like what it shows you. After 2 months, a pattern emerges. Your best trades share 3 conditions. Your worst trades share 3 different conditions. You now have signal and noise separated on paper. You deposit $500 of real money. This time it's different. This time you have a system and a record. This time you know what you're looking for. Level 5, the retail survivor. The first real money trade takes you 11 minutes to place. The cursor hovers over the confirm button. Your system says enter. Your stomach says wait. You click confirm. It goes against you immediately. 18 pips down. Your $500 account shows $491. You watch the number. You breathe. Your stop loss is at $480, where you put it before the trade because your system told you to. You keep your hands off the keyboard. The price reverses. It reaches your target. You close at $508. $8 has never felt like anything before. Today, it feels like evidence. You keep trading, small size, 1 or 2 trades a week. You lose some, you win more than you lose, but not by the margin the course has promised. Nothing is 80% win rate. Nothing is risk-free. The market is harder in real time than any back test suggested, but you don't blow the account. That's new. 3 months in, the account is at $611. You made $111 on $500 risked over 90 days. You could have earned more delivering food. The point isn't the amount. The point is the process held, the journal held, the stop losses held, you held. You understand something now that no YouTube video explained. Most retail traders fail not because they don't know enough, but because they can't manage themselves under pressure. You are learning to manage yourself. That's the actual product. You increase the account to $1,000. Same process, same rules. You are not trying to get rich. You are trying to get consistent. Consistent is harder than rich. Consistent is also the only path to rich that works. Level 6, the patient one. Something changes, not the market, you. You stop checking the charts every hour. You stop watching price action during news events because chaos doesn't give you an edge. You stop refreshing your account balance at midnight. You trade during your session. London Open, sometimes New York. You know which pairs move cleanly during which hours. You know which days tend to trend and which tend to chop. You've built this from your journal, not from someone else's spreadsheet. You pass a week without a single trade because the setups didn't meet your criteria. 2 years ago, that would have been unbearable. Now it feels like discipline. It feels like protection. Your monthly P&L turns positive. Not every month, but most months. Your best month, $340 profit on a $2,000 account. Your worst losing month, $180 down. Your drawdown never exceeds 9% of the account in any given week. You start talking less about trading to people around you. Not because you're hiding anything, because you realize that trading success is boring to describe. There are no dramatic stories, no single legendary trade, just process, repeated, refined, repeated again. You meet a man at a networking event who says he made $80,000 last month trading Forex. He tells you about his system in great detail. He invites you to his group. You ask him what his maximum drawdown was in the last 6 months. He doesn't understand the question. You smile politely and move on. You know something now that he doesn't. Profits are meaningless without risk context. Anyone can make money in a good month. The question is what happens in the bad one. Level 7, the technician. You grow the account to $5,000. This takes longer than you expected and shorter than it would have if you'd rushed it. Your setup is cleaner now. 2 monitors, a trading journal running to over 400 entries, an Excel sheet tracking every metric that matters. Win rate by session, average risk-reward ratio, performance by currency pair, number of trades per week. You review the data every Sunday. You've removed 4 pairs from your watch list because your edge doesn't exist on them. You've eliminated trading on Fridays because your data shows you consistently underperform. You've stopped trading during the first hour of London Open because the spread is too wide and your setups are less clean. You've become surgical. Your risk per trade is fixed. 1% of account, always. You don't increase it because you feel confident. You don't decrease it because you're scared. The system determines position size, not your mood. You have a losing streak of 7 trades in a row. You don't change the system. You review the trades, find 2 execution errors, correct them, continue. The 8th trade is a winner. The streak meant nothing about the edge. It only measured variance. People ask you how long it takes to become profitable. You tell them 2 to 3 years of serious study and practice. They frown. They were hoping for 6 months. You tell them 6 months is possible. You also tell them that most people who go profitable in 6 months haven't seen a real correction yet. They don't want to hear that either. You understand now that trading attracts people who want shortcuts and rewards the ones who accept there are none. Level 8, the funded trader. You hear about prop firms, they give you a large account. You trade their capital, you keep a percentage of profits, you keep none of the losses. The firm absorbs the downside risk. The catch, pass an evaluation, hit a profit target, stay within maximum drawdown, follow their rules, prove you can manage risk before they trust you with size. You fail the first evaluation, not from bad trading, from impatience. You were close to the profit target on day 16 and sized up aggressively to close the gap. You blew past the daily loss limit, reset. You passed the second evaluation in 23 days, clean, within all parameters, consistent. The firm funds you with $200,000, 80% profit split. Your first month, $3,200 profit. Your cut, $2,560. More than you made from your personal account in the previous 4 months combined. The size changes the psychology. A 1 pip move on $200,000 is $20. Your stop losses represent $2,000 of the firm's money. You feel the weight differently than you expected. Not fear, respect. You become more deliberate. Every entry considered, every exit pre-planned. You pass the drawdown rules for 6 consecutive months. The firm offers you $400,000. You consider it for 3 days. You accept. Your monthly income from trading crosses $4,000 for the first time. Real money, consistent money, not a lucky month. A system producing output. You don't tell most people how much you're making. Not from secrecy, from the understanding that context changes everything, and most people don't have the context. Level 9, the independent operator. The prop firm income stabilizes. You use it to grow your personal account. The personal account grows. The cycle compounds quietly. You open a second prop firm account with a different firm. Not because you need more complexity, because diversifying income streams in trading is the same as everywhere else. One account's bad month doesn't define your year. Your personal account crosses $20,000, then $35,000. You withdraw a percentage every quarter. You invest it outside of trading, equities, real estate, a small business interest. You understand something important. Trading is a skill, not a savings account. The money it generates should flow somewhere stable. Traders who keep everything inside the trading account are one catastrophic drawdown from starting over. You are not going to start over. You build a second revenue stream. Not selling courses, not promising guaranteed returns. You write a newsletter. Detailed, honest, no hype analysis of what you're watching and why. 200 subscribers, then 800, then 3,000. A small paid tier, $19 a month. You mentor one person, someone at level 3 who reminds you of yourself 2 years ago. You charge fairly. You don't promise outcomes. You share process. They blow an account. You tell them that's the entry fee. They come back. That's the signal. Your relationship with the market changes. It used to feel like an adversary, then a puzzle. Now it feels like weather. It does what it does. You have your tools. You make your decisions. Some days you stay inside. Most days you work. You no longer check your phone constantly. You no longer dream about trades. The system runs. You live your life around it instead of inside it. Level 10, the invisible one. The monitors are still there, 2 of them. Clean charts, no indicators except the ones you've used for years. A price action setup you've refined so many times, it's almost invisible to anyone else. You see it, that's enough. Your morning is quiet, coffee, journal review. 10 minutes on the London session setup. You either take a trade or you don't. You close the laptop by midday most days, sometimes earlier. You don't have a boss, you don't have office hours, you don't have a commute, you don't have a ceiling. You also don't have a floor, and you learn to live with that years ago. The uncertainty is priced in. The account is large enough that 1% risk per trade is more money than most people make in a week at a regular job. You don't think about the amount. You think about the process. And the amount takes care of itself when the process is sound. You don't post screenshots. You don't run a YouTube channel. You don't need the validation, and you've seen what happens to traders who do. They start performing instead of trading. Performance kills edges. You stay quiet. The best traders you know are unfindable. They don't have large social media presences. They don't sell courses. They show up in the market every day, take what the market offers, and leave. Nobody films a documentary about them. They don't care. You've become one of them. Somewhere right now, a new account is being opened. A first deposit of $200, a first trade on EUR/USD, a first profit of 11 cents, a first feeling of, I understand this. This is learnable. They think the market is a shortcut. They don't know it's a mirror. They don't know yet how long the journey actually is, or how quiet it gets when you finally arrive. The cycle begins again.